receiving your content. Alright, let's see. Alright, good, it's muted. Oh, that's a problem. I gotta fix that in OBS real quick. Alright, that's as good as it's gonna get. Alright. It should fix it.
Oh shoot. Today's Friday.
Yeah.
I don't work tomorrow.
Nice job, man.
Shut the fuck up.
You and your fucking phone.
You drop me for no reason.
So we have chat pulled up, we have OBS running, tell.
Alright, dope.
Let's get this shit going.
I'm gonna watch it. Head ass.
Stupid ass. Rules for this is we're doing Marvel and DC, but I was too lazy to re-edit the thumbnail, so fucking suck it up. Michael's dying. We're good.
Slowly but surely.
Sounds about right. Anyway, alright. So, first movie is going to be Mr. Age of Ultron over here. Your thoughts on this fucking shite lord?
That was the worst Avengers movie ever. That's like an F.
You want to elaborate on why?
Because.
And make sure you enunciate and stuff like that, because the mic kind of fucks up sometimes.
It's just because, like, it was just, like, way too slow for everything. Like, Ultron was the worst villain. Like, he could have been better. He could have been way better, like, designed. Designed way better. Like, no.
I'm gonna
like,
throw some music on in the background for them,
to be
because
honest,
then there's something.
To be honest, they could have probably actually made it more look like the comics instead of a fucking robot.
Fucking. So you fucking robots.
Fake ass robot.
Yeah, I probably should have thought this through before doing this, but
Yeah,
we're
shit.
just gonna do
See Kevin Harris.
anything. No, I don't want to get fucking copyright strike. Although this is what this is gonna fucking happen.
I was gonna say,
I need instrumentals, man. Where are all my instrumentals? I'm very upset.
you got no instrumentals.
I have multiple instrumentals. I just
Do you? That's why you can't find them.
Fuck. I don't know where any of my shit's at.
Because you have no
Hold up.
instrumentals.
I gotta.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, it's streaming. It's not recording.
Oh, it's streaming. Well, it's streaming.
Because fuck you, that's why. Alright. Random songs at the moment. And.
Thank God that there's no camera.
Yeah, I don't have a webcam, so. That shouldn't
I'm
be-
fucking glad you don't have a fucking webcam.
Let me throw this shit on. Okay, it's on shuffle. Alright. And then we're gonna pull up chat. And back up OBS. Alright. Alright, no one in chat yet. Alright, so Age of Ultron, I'll probably concede that it goes in a D spot because I kind of like it a bit better, but that's just me. Oh, perfect. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
F.
Yeah. I don't even think we need to talk about it. Like, first Amazing Spider-Man, we'll put it in a D tier. It's better than the second one, but
It's
not
at a
by
D.
much. Yeah.
C, B for
I think one of the main reasons that D goes there is for the fact, or it goes in D, is mainly because of the suit. Like, just the suit on itself
No,
kind of
I like the
earns it.
suit. I just don't like the actor.
Yeah, actor was kind of like...
Like, he's
I don't
supposed to
know.
be a teenager. Like, Tom Holland, he looks like he's fucking
Yeah, I don't know
16.
why they were so against making him... Cause all they had to do is, if they wanted Andrew Garfield to be Spider-Man, all you have to do is put him in college instead of high school.
Seriously.
But he was in a high school. Throw him in college, and then you're fine. Like, no one would have complained. It would have made sense. But no, you got to believe that he's a fucking senior in high school, and it's like, nah. Like, I'm sorry, Chief. That's just not how this works. So no. Ant-Man.
B.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I enjoy Paul Rudd, and it's also one of the more underrated MCU movies, in my opinion. Not the best. Not even close to the best. But it's pretty good.
B.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
B. It's way better than the first one.
I mean, I don't personally agree, but Okay.
The fuck?
Apparently something about trains.
Whatever.
X-Men Apocalypse, we're gonna throw that at a D tier.
What? No.
Yes. Why not? Where do you think it belongs?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, it's definitely like what I'm doing is I'm kind of ranking these movies in their own like series. So like I'm ranking the X-Men movies in their own thing, like the MCU things, like stuff like that.
But anyway, Avengers.
Because I mean, if you're complaining, like if you're comparing Apocalypse to the MCU, it'd go in the F tier. But I think it's a little bit better than people give it credit for. But yeah, this is definitely
plus.
A tier. We're not going to put it quite S tier, but it's definitely deserving of the first A tier spot.
It has to be an A plus.
Like, this is probably one of the most important MCU movies. I mean, the whole first phase was super important, but like this was important for movies in general. So, Black Panther, where there's two. Yeah, I was gonna say there's two spots I think it could belong.
Because it's not better than that. I'm just.
My biggest thing is I've tried recording a video about ranking Marvel movies, but I was like it'd probably be better suited for a stream, and I figured if I did it with someone else, it'd be better. But my biggest issue with Black Panther is Killmonger. I don't like him as a villain. Like everyone's like, oh, he's so sympathetic. But for me, my biggest issue with that is he was like, oh yeah, I'll kill all the women and the children and shit like that. It's like, that's like number one, like wartime. Don't do that shit. Is don't fuck with the women or kill children. So it's like, it's not only that, but also the fact that
what do you expect?
he got all mad, like, oh, white people, you know, they targeted all my fucking people. So it's like you're doing the same thing and trying to act like you're higher than them. Like I don't really see that. Like I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just I don't really see it.
Why the fuck is my painting on the floor?
I don't know, because it's trash.
Your face is trash.
First Avenger.
Hey, your guy.
I'm gonna put a B tier.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's just not as good as some of the other ones. Which ooh, look what's next. I'm excited. Yeah, good movie, good cast, very important. But compared to this one,
That's nah.
it's going S tier, my dude. I'm sorry.
That has to be an A.
No. My reasoning and how I'm ranking this personally is if it's a good movie, even not being a superhero movie, and that's what Captain America is.
I heard that.
We were watching it earlier, and I literally was talking to you about just the Winter Soldier's theme and how that shit can make you like paranoid. Like that shit's good. Like
First time he ever comes out, it's kind of creepy.
yeah, and especially with that theme, it's just silence, and all you hear is that. Just
Kind of creepy.
awesome. Captain Marvel, we're not even gonna talk about it. It's
D.
F tier. Good
It
luck.
has to be a D.
What?
D.
Okay, you want to explain yourself?
I like the cat.
Okay. We're moving on.
Hey, the cat's cute.
Civil
Can't lie.
War, we're putting at a C tier.
Hey, the cat looks like Liney's. Don't even.
Oh, man. Anyway, agree on Civil War? Should it move up or down, in your opinion?
Stay there.
Because that's my biggest... Again, it's like, it's kind of middle of the road in terms of the MCU. Like, it's good,
It's very slow.
but it's like... Even when I first saw the airport fight in theaters, I was like,
Very slow.
this is it? Like I'm okay with a slow movie, but when the airport fight actually happened,
To
it
be
was
honest,
just so
I thought
slow.
The airport fight was gonna be longer.
It's not even that. It was just they were in this huge area, and all you see is just blank space behind them, and then just like a few heroes fighting. It's like
I can't wait till we get to those ones.
those are going to be very interesting. Dark Phoenix, neither of us have seen.
Nope.
Can't critique
Haven't
it.
seen it yet.
Days of Future Past,
That was
A tier.
A tier.
Garen fucking T. Not quite S tier. A tier by far though.
A tier.
Super fucking good.
Daredevil.
Daredevil, obviously S tier. No.
Featuring Batman.
Featuring Batman. Oh, Batman. Nah, bro. Stay in your own universe. I just realized we kind of built like a weird ass pyramid type thing here. We need two more here and it's perfect. No.
I put that at C.
Yeah, I'd put it at C for the pure fucking goofiness of that shit. Like the outfit, fucking Bullseye having the tattoo,
And
like the scar on his head.
To be honest, I don't really like how Marvel's kind of making other people not really how they're supposed to be looking. Because Kingpin's supposed to be white, but
I was
like,
cool
I like
with the casting of it just because he's such a bad.
I
My
liked-
biggest issue.
I like that Kingpin though. He was a good Kingpin, but I prefer him to actually be from the comics.
My biggest issue with that Kingpin was
As in Nick
Kingpin's
Fury.
supposed to be fucking huge. Like, don't get me wrong, Michael Clark Duncan, or however you say his name, he's fucking huge.
He's huge as fuck.
But Kingpin is, like, supposed to be dummy huge. And he was just ripped. He's supposed to be, like, the epitome of fat and huge and, like, everything. Like,
before you say anything else,
oh, we already know where that's going. Yeah, we already know.
It's going on top.
Ooh, these next two are going to get me in a lot of trouble if whoever watches this. Deadpool 2, where do you think it should go first?
B.
I agree.
Because, alright, if you think about it, you saw Professor X's stepbrother, Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Cable. You saw Colossus. You saw fucking Domino. You saw hella Marvel people in that movie. I like that movie because it's just funny as hell.
I think
It's funny as fuck.
the thing keeping it from being A tier for me, and the thing that I would probably put it in C tier for, is the jokes didn't work as well for me as the first movie.
All I gotta say,
Like, the second one, it felt a lot more like, oh, hey, look at our jokes. Although I will give 99% of the movie's credit to Ryan Reynolds
True.
and Josh Brolin. Just those two alone, I could watch them fucking in a movie all day. Like, especially with the fact of seeing Cable in live action
To
for
be
the first
honest,
time, that shit's awesome.
No, the only the movie they should make is a Cable movie.
They seriously just need to do an X-Force movie in the MCU and just have
Because-
Deadpool comment on it.
Because most people don't know, Cyclops is Cable's father.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are like, oh no, that's not his father. Like, why would that make any sense?
Yeah.
Cable's from the future. Cyclops is from the past. Him
Okay, stop
And-
slapping on the desk. It's fucking rippling.
him and Jean made Cable.
Yeah. It's
And me not knowing why Cable doesn't have Jean's powers, I don't fucking know.
and he doesn't have Scott's powers either.
Seriously.
I
Well,
mean,
actually,
I
in
guess
the
it's not
comics-
really like
In the comics, Cable does have the one
Laser
eye
eyes?
shooting
yeah.
beam, but
They did kind of allude to that with his one glowing eye,
I liked.
which I appreciate.
I liked his design. I liked.
I also
Cable's
appreciate that Josh Brolin got fucking ripped. That man's in his, I think, 50s at least, and that man got ripped as hell
He lost-
just to play
design.
like.
He lost 20 pounds for that movie.
He got ripped to play a character where half his body would be replaced anyway.
Like, he's
that's
not-
dedication.
He's
that is
not
what
like
that.
Joker losing 50 pounds for a fucking movie.
Which I also appreciate that as well. That's
I
a different kind
appreciate
of thing,
him.
which we will get to eventually.
I appreciate him for actually putting in effort for making Joker.
Yeah, it's
Just-
like
Back to Marvel movies.
yeah. We'll touch on the DC movies later. Deadpool probably B tier.
In front of Deadpool 2.
Yeah. And what we'll do as well, I didn't mention this, but we'll go through each category and kind of rank them within the category. So we'll do best B movies from best to worst, etc. So we'll do that once the list is
That's
finished.
gonna be interesting.
Yeah, Deadpool, really great. Obviously, the humor is not for everyone, but I appreciate the kind of fact that it was just kind of him just going after one dude.
Yeah.
Like, some of the jokes are obviously not the best, but
Well, yeah.
pretty good overall.
The reason why he was only going after one dude is because he didn't want powers.
Yeah, exactly.
He wanted
It's
to be a
like-
normal person without cancer, but
It's
he
like-
was dying, and then this guy, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna put some fucking powers in you. Oh, do you
Well, he
want
had the
powers?
powers, they just activated them. But it's like, my biggest thing is it's like, you gotta understand that Deadpool doesn't want to be a hero, so he's doing the bare minimum. Like, he literally, his catchphrase in the movie is maximum effort just to get him to do anything. Like, he doesn't give a shit about anything, and the one thing he cares about, he's like,
His
well,
wife,
fuck.
his girlfriend.
Like,
That's the only thing he cares
which,
about.
by
is
the
his
way,
girlfriend.
Deadpool 3 in the MCU, they need to get married.
Facts.
And I will not be having it otherwise.
No, Deadpool 3, there has to be a Wolverine in it. Because Hugh Jackman
I don't
said,
know.
Hugh Jackman said, only way he'll be in a Marvel movie ever again
This with
is
Deadpool.
that he wants to be with Ryan Reynolds. He wants to be in a Deadpool movie.
I would be
And
cool
he
with
actually wants to have his cowl. He wants to have his yellow and blue suit.
that.
Like
I
in
still
X-Men.
want to see Mr. Sinister. They teased him at the end of the Wolverine. And I feel like, especially now in the MCU, they could do him pretty fucking
Well,
cool.
also in the
Just saying.
and they actually teased his actual cowl,
Mhm.
the yellow and brown cowl in the
post-
Wolverine.
yeah, in the post-credit scene or whatever.
I just love the Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's like
And one thing I
better.
did love about Days of Future Past, if I remember, or was it Apocalypse? At the end of I think it was Apocalypse. At the end of it, they got like the comic accurate suits.
oh yeah
Yeah, that was that one because Jean got like her yellow and green one. Mystique got her white and blue one. Like, everyone looked really good.
And then Cyclops.
And then the
got
next
his-
movie, in the trailers, they got rid of the costumes, and I'm like, why? They looked so good. Why do you take good
honestly-
costumes and just throw them away? Like,
Honestly, I saw Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix
mhm.
trailer, and I saw their costumes. I feel like they could have did way better.
They
And
did better in Apocalypse. Like, in
They
the
did way
post-credit
better.
scene, or not the post-credit scene, but before the credits, the last scene they show is everyone in their classic costumes, or from like the '90s cartoon or whatever. And I'm like, this is good. Keep this. And then the next movie is just Yellow Accents.
And I guess people didn't see that
Like,
when they saw Nightcrawler in Apocalypse.
mhm.
He was a good actor, but
Yeah,
in
I was
Phoenix, that's a different actor.
Cool. No, it's not.
He's a different actor.
It's the same dude. It's fucking.
Nightcrawler's a
What's
different
his
actor
name?
for.
Huh.
I got so pissed because he does
That makes
not
no
look
sense.
like the same person in Apocalypse.
Yeah, we'll move on to Doctor Strange.
B.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about it. It's like, it's not C. C's kind of like eh. A is like, holy shit. Doctor Strange is just kind of there. I enjoy it a lot more than Civil War Black Panther.
It's the first movie with a giant ass villain.
For me, I think one of my biggest thing that kind of elevates the movie is the Caecilius, the guy who plays him, Mads Mikkelsen. I love that dude. And plus, just seeing quote unquote not magic in the MCU was pretty fucking cool.
Facts.
Let's be honest.
Electra.
Elektra, this is. I'm not even gonna move it yet. We're just gonna have to talk about this for a minute and see where to place it, because this is gonna be fun.
That was the first. I believe that was the first ever Marvel women's movie.
Yeah.
Actual.
I don't think we've had a Have we had a female-led superhero movie since then? I don't think we have.
No.
I know we're getting Black Widow, which I am excited for.
We had Electra, and then it went straight.
And well, yeah, we
to
had. I
Captain
forgot
Marvel.
about Captain Marvel. Yikes.
It went Electra straight to Captain Marvel, and
Ah, shit. I
then
mean,
those are the only two.
and you
actual
can
female
argue-
Marvel movies.
You can argue that after
Nice.
Captain Marvel, it would have been Dark Phoenix, but we're
Whatever.
not really. I mean, yeah, it's like vaguely led by her, but it's also like when you have James McAvoy and fuck, I forgot the guy who plays Magneto. He's a really good actor though. I forgot his name. I'm bad with names, but those two, I could watch them just play chess for an entire movie, and I'd be happy about it. Like, they're just so good.
Yeah, but the only
like-
thing is that Magneto wouldn't even use his hand. He just used his fucking powers if they were metal.
I'd be cool with it. Like, literally have them two sit down, have Eric wear his helmet, and then them just play. Like, I would be cool with that, just because they're so entertaining to watch.
I like how we're talking about fucking X-Men. And then
Yeah, we
there's
kind of
fucking-
got sidetracked,
and
but
there's fucking Electra.
but yeah, Elektra. Fuck, man.
See, right next to Deadpool. I mean Daredevil.
Right next to Deadpool, huh?
Yeah, whatever.
I would have put it D tier, but I could just be remembering it worse in my head. I mean, I've
She
seen
was
some
a
of the
good
shots.
She
I've
was a
seen
good
like
Marvel person.
yeah, I've seen some clips from it again recently, and I'm like, oh god. Okay, and we're gonna save Endgame and some of the more huge movies for towards the end of the video
Yeah.
stream thing from the Marvel section, because we gotta talk about it a lot. Fan Four Stick, as everyone called it. I haven't seen it, so this is all on you to explain it how you would grade it. And this is just
I mean,
compared
it wasn't
to.
better than the Silver Surfer one.
Mm,
It wasn't better.
so would you rate it like C?
I'd rate it D.
D. Gotcha. Ooh, so that's a
I
little
mean,
spoiler for where the
Michael, what is it?
huh?
Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael
yeah.
B. Jordan. He was okay at Human Torch, but I feel like I liked Captain America as Human Torch.
Yeah, I've
he
heard.
he was funny as hell.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that apparently the casting was one of the better things of the movie. Like I heard
Which
that for Fan Four Stick. I heard like Miles Teller's Mr. Fantastic was pretty good. I heard that Ben Grimm was okay. Invisible Woman was okay, except for like some wig reshoots. And I heard a lot of good shit about Michael B. Jordan. But he's also a really good actor, so it's like obviously he's gonna be one of the better ones.
Well, he was Killmonger.
Yeah. It's so weird that he goes from playing a decent character in Fan Four Stick to a pretty bad villain in my opinion. Black Panther. Terrible suit.
Terrible suit.
I hate the fact that they gave him a suit. That's probably my biggest gripe with the movie. And that final fight scene alone really just brings down the movie for me personally. Because it's just kind of like cool, I guess. Like, I don't know. The original Fantastic Four. Just the first one.
B.
Yeah, guaranteed.
B.
Very underrated. Very, very good. I actually liked Doctor Doom's look. Not gonna lie, in the first and second one.
I like Doctor Doom, actor.
He was pretty good, yeah. Obviously, Chris Evans, he's now Captain America. He did pretty good. It's kind of weird now seeing Captain America be like a cocky douche, but like,
yeah,
it's interesting. Mr. Fantastic and his goofy fucking nature.
douche.
Jessica Alba, fucking weird casting choice nowadays. And then the Thing looked okay. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't obviously A tier, but it's a lot more enjoyable to watch than like Black Panther or Apocalypse or Captain Marvel, for fuck's sakes. Like, it's, yeah. So the Fantastic Four sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, I would probably put that C tier? Not quite B tier, but I'd probably put it C tier. What about you? Would you put it right alongside it, or would you put it C as well?
Well, I loved that movie.
You liked it?
I loved it.
I liked it, but I don't know if I liked it as much as the first one. I know I definitely didn't like it
I
more.
loved it because they actually brought Silver Surfer actually into a movie.
My biggest thing that would... the only reason that...
He looked good.
The only reason Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer is not an A-tier movie is because of how Galactus was treated. If they would have treated Galactus with actual respect and done him right, it easily could have been an A-tier movie. Easily. Because that would have been a more badass moment than anything in, like, fucking Apocalypse even. Like, that would have been amazing.
All I gotta say,
But
Marvel Studios, bring Galactus into a movie. Thanks.
please, thank God. Like, apparently,
Like,
rumors
listen to
speak.
me. And if anyone records this and sends it to Marvel, just know, Marvel, if you put Galactus in a movie, you will get literally the whole world on Marvel.
Yeah, like...
They will literally betray DC because of Galactus. Galactus is the best villain of all time because he's the fucking eater of worlds.
Yeah, my biggest thing also is don't worry about doing goofy costumes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, do the X-Men in their comic accurate costumes.
And also, if you put him in a movie, don't make him look bougie as fuck.
And please, make the Fantastic Four goofy as shit. They're not supposed to be super serious characters. That's one of the reasons people didn't like the Fantastic Four reboot. They're not supposed to be dark and gritty. They're supposed to be goofy-ass characters.
Oh,
Like,
you hear? By year 2022, that they're actually making an X-Men movie. Like, actual X-Men with Cyclops, Wolverine.
I heard...
Like the TV show,
Mm,
X-Men. They're actually
yeah.
making a movie like that.
Also, to anyone at the fucking Marvel Studios that if someone randomly stumbles across this, if you open up the X-Men movie in the MCU the same way the X-Men 90s cartoon did, and you use the X-Men 90s cartoon theme, you will get all of the nerds' respect, including mine. Because that would literally make the movie. Like, I don't care if it's weird, jumping in the middle of it, we don't need an X-Men origin story, just throw us into it. We'll be fine. People can understand that characters exist. Like, that's why I like the Guardians. It's like, you're not showing how they got where they are. It's like, they exist. And I like a movie like that. If you're doing a big team movie, just do the Guardians thing and just kind of, like, introduce the characters, but don't be like, oh, look, here's the origin stories. Like, if you want to do, like, some side character in X-Men that's not used often, kind of like how in the original movie they showed Wolverine kind of getting into the X-Men, I'm fine with that. Use that. Use Jubilee for once, like in the cartoon. But please do that. At least use the theme song, because that theme song is one of the sickest fucking things I've ever heard.
Homecoming, Far From Home.
Mm-hmm. Let's see your opinion on this first, because mine's going to be a bit more...
Please tell me your opinion. It's not going to be bitchy.
Where would you rank it, is my question.
It's better than Homecoming. That's why I think. Because
Where would you rank it though, letter-wise?
Well, it's not an A.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a D tier either. I'd say it's either, depending on your opinion.
To be honest, I'd rather put it between Fantastic Four. I'd put it in the middle of Fantastic Four.
I'd put it here, but that's just me. We'll put it here just for the sake of that. I liked Mysterio. Obviously, I liked the actor that played him. I liked the sequences. I know a lot of people said that they looked like PS3 cutscenes.
I hated Mysterio in that movie.
I kind of enjoyed it.
I hated him.
Like, I especially like the fact that you already know his ass is going to be coming back somehow.
I like the actor. I just hated him in the movie.
My biggest thing is, you already know if he knows about, Stark, and he knows about the whole glasses situation, then he would know about the whole Project Tahiti thing that Coulson and Fury used. So it's like, you already know that he has ways to lower his heartbeat low enough.
Facts.
So it's like, I guarantee there's ways that that'll work. Yeah, I'm really hoping to see him come back and hopefully get an actual suit. Because, like, I don't mind the whole, imagery thing, that's fine. But I personally think that he deserves an actual suit. Because he's a really good actor, and the more you give him to do, the better. Like, don't underutilize him. They wouldn't kill him off. Like, that's just fucking stupid. But, ooh. Next one, First Class. Where do you think this should go? I know where I would rank this. Where would you rank it?
It's not an A.
What?
It's not an
Where would you rank it then?
A.
What?
I don't know.
What about it makes it worse than Days of Future Past? Trust me, I love Days of Future Past, but what for you kind of is like, like what keeps it from being at the same level as that for you?
I don't know. It's just something about the movie just got me like. They could have just did better with like fucking the villains. Like the villain, who was it? The main villain.
I don't think they Shaw was his name. They didn't actually give him a mutant code name, but yeah.
Shaw. What is his power?
He absorbs shit. He just.
And yet he has like fucking 50 hands coming out of his body. Like who is he? Doctor Strange?
Yeah, it's very fucking weird. I'll give you that.
That's the only reason why I didn't like the movie.
For me,
he was a bad villain.
For me, everything aside from the villain would kind of make it an A-tier movie. But what I will do is throw it there. Because it is close, in my opinion, to Days of Future Past.
It's close.
Not... I can see why it's not at that level. Is this the sequel? Yes. This is Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it
It is. Because I remember the cover art for that.
Oh, well, fun.
I
guess it's the Spirit of Vengeance.
So the Ghost Rider sequel, where do you want to put that? Because for me, I know where I would put it, but I also love Nicolas Cage, so...
It's not bad on the first one. Just saying.
So where are we putting this one?
Even though the first one was cheesy as hell.
So should we put this like D tier? Because it's not awful. Like, F is the truly awful movies. D is like pretty bad, but it's still kind of fun to watch them.
You're putting it with the worst Spider-Man of all time.
Well, it's definitely not at Civil War levels. Like, that's the thing. It's like, is it at Daredevil Elektra levels? Possibly.
Yeah.
Is it definitely at Civil War levels? No.
No.
But it's enjoyable. I like it.
Anyways, back to the haters that are gonna fucking comment and say, "What do you mean that Amazing Spider-Man was the worst movie?" I don't like the actor. I like the movie. I just don't like the actor.
Yeah. The first movie was fine, and it's not the worst movie. This is one of the worst Spider-Man movies.
I mean, Lizard was good in it.
Yeah.
He was good as hell.
It was nice seeing a villain that wasn't Green Goblin.
Lizard was creepy.
Like, I was really worried about that. I was worried they were gonna reuse the same villains, and they didn't. And they're doing the same thing in the MCU. They're using different people, and I love that. It's the same thing with Batman. There's so many villains, use them, and they're doing that, and I appreciate that. And I give the second one credit for that as well with I hate the Green Goblin arc in that, but I did give them credit for introducing Electro.
Green Goblin looked horrible.
I give them credit for going with the like ultimate version of Electro though, because it just kind of worked better, and I think that version looks the coolest in my opinion.
Fucking
But
lightning bolt on his head.
yeah, Ghost Rider.
It's not a.
I would probably put it before this. I'd say it's at the same tier.
It's very cheesy. I love it.
But it's fun to watch.
So
It's not, if you want like something like modern MCU style superhero movie, it's not going to be that. But if you want like like Iron Man type stuff, this is pure that, and I love that. It's just fun to watch. The second one's a little less fun to watch, but the first one is just great.
And also, if you notice, in the Ghost Rider, the first one, Nicolas Cage, he looked like a stoner.
Yeah, he looked fucking
Major
messed up.
stoner.
Yeah.
Like every scene, he's like,
He looked
yeah.
very confused 24/7.
Like he couldn't like make out the words because he's fucking high as hell.
And Nicolas Cage just doesn't even give a shit, and I love it.
He was good as hell in fucking
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Question for you is, where would you rank Guardians 2? Because I already know where I want to rank it. But let's see where you want to rank it first, and then we can kind of talk about it and meet in the middle somewhere. Or maybe I can convince you why it belongs in the spot.
I liked it. I like that movie.
Question is, what tier? And why? Because I already
why
know.
I like the movie, or
No.
why the tier?
What tier would you put it on, and why?
I mean,
And as you do that, you can go into like why you like the movie. So.
I put it in front of First Class.
Interesting.
I put it way in front of First Class. I'm just saying.
What would make you put it at the B tier as opposed to the A tier?
It's funny as hell. Groot, I love Groot. I just love him. He's so cute.
And that's why
And,
it's
like,
B instead of A?
No, and also Drax. You can't see him, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is A tier, that was an Infinity War reference, by the way. What negatives keep it from being above the B tier? At like A or S, because then there would be two other tiers.
No, it's just not S or A. It's not one of those.
No, sorry. I want to put it S tier, but I will meet in the middle and kind of put
I'd
it
rather
A tier.
put fucking the first one in A tier and then put the second one in B tier, because
Okay, you got to
I like-
understand. Guardians 2 was, I think, if I remember correctly, the first superhero movie to get an emotional reaction from me in a theater. Like, every other movie was like, oh, that was good. Guardians 2, that and Logan were the two movies, aside from, like, Endgame and Infinity War, that had me emotional in the theater.
True.
Like, that shit, that ending, literally, anytime I see it, or anytime I see a clip of it, even if I don't hear any of it, it just hurts. And then especially when you add that song on top of it, that shit fucking kills me. And that's the reason why I would put it S tier, but I will put it A tier kind of as a middle ground. Because I can see why it's not really S tier material. I am also kind of biased, so. But it's definitely a high B material at the very least. So Guardians 1, you said that you would want that A tier? I agree. It's definitely one of the most unique MCU movies. And as we went into earlier, talking about how they make X-Men in the MCU, just do the Guardians thing. There's a reason why the Guardians movies work so well. It's because everyone involved knows what the fuck they're doing.
It's
And I think Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the proving kind of moments that people that cast people for the MCU know what the fuck they're doing. Like, I don't think there's been a single big issue with casting in the MCU. Obviously, the first Incredible Hulk movie that they did that's part of the MCU is kind of, like, weird. Because they kind of just were like, fuck it, it's in there. But other than that, there's not really been super terrible choices. Like, Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2, not the best choice, but pretty good. But, like, there's never been, like, oh god, why the fuck is he that character? Like, and especially in Guardians, it's like, Vin Diesel as Groot, kind of fucking funny. Bradley Cooper as Rocket, that's a fucking... Like, especially after seeing the Hangover movies, it's like, this is weird.
It's fucking weird.
Chris Pratt Star-Lord, I will praise everyone who ever thought that was a good idea, because yes, it is. And Zoe Saldana as Gamora, not the best in the first movie.
She's a good actor.
Yeah, she's a good actor, but I've noticed with her, she kind of fades in the background sometimes.
Sorry, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's really good at what she does, but I think that as the movies went on, she really got more attention, which I think is good, because, especially in Infinity War, obviously in Endgame,
Like
she was a big part of it, which I appreciated, because it actually, she mattered. As in, like, the first and second movie, she was kind of just not as big of a deal, which I get is kind of hard when you got all the characters, but even as a slightly background character, she was fucking great. So it's like, you can't really go wrong with that. Homecoming. Where would you put this? I know where I want to put it.
Oh, do you mean Spider-Man featuring Batman?
Fuck's sakes. Yeah, where would you put
he
that?
will. He did say he'll always forever will be Batman, so you know.
Hashtag Michael Keaton for what's going on?
For life. I'm scared.
We'll look at it in a minute. Yeah, where would you want Homecoming to be?
It was slow.
I can kind of see that, yeah.
It was slower than Far From Home.
See, for me, that's the thing. For me, you gotta weigh up, like, how bad were the negatives, and are they outweighed by the positives? Like, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I mean, obviously, I look at movies and review them differently than other people would. But, like, at least for me, that's how I kind of doing, like, the ranking list.
Shocker could have been better.
That is definitely one of my bigger gripes, is that they kind of wasted Shocker.
They fucked up Shocker.
I did think it was cool to see him just accidentally kill a version of Shocker and stuff like that, but, like, because it was kind of cool being like, oh yeah, don't get comfortable with this version, we're moving on. And I'm like, it's kind of good to see a movie have the balls to do that shit.
First of all, Shocker's in Sinister 6.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in the movie.
My only hope is that the version of Shocker they have now in the movie actually gets a suit. Like, I know he had, like, the yellow padded jacket on the arms, which was a good step. But if you're able to give Vulture, like, the creepy look, and, like, you even got the little fur around the neck, like in the comics, you can do a pretty cool version of Shocker. And like I said with the X-Men, you don't have to take it super serious.
Sure.
Like, obviously, we're not like, oh, just do completely comic accurate costumes, because that might look weird. But with Shocker, you can make it work. Do the Spider-Man PS4 thing, and just, you can make it armored, but still look cool. Like, there's ways to make these characters look good without being completely just like, oh, hey, look, it's a slight reference. Like, I don't know. But I would personally put it here, kind of towards the end of the B tier.
You picked that one.
Because it would either be there or beginning of C tier. It's kind of in between for me. Better than Black Panther, in my opinion. I'd say personally it's tied for Far From Home for me, but we'll definitely put it there.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Homecoming was funny because I love Ned. Do you lay eggs? What?
I'm watching porn. Just that one line got more laughs than all of Far From Home did in the theater for me.
Facts.
Like, it's just, the first movie was a lot more, like, honest with its characters. Like, Far From Home, they kind of skim over the high school shit. And it's like, the high school stuff was, like, some of the best things about Spider-Man stories are the Peter Parker parts. That's one of the reasons I liked Spider-Man PS4 so much. Was like, the gameplay was fucking dope and the story was amazing. Like, it's not just a Spider-Man movie. It's like, if you're making a good Spider-Man movie, is also a good Peter Parker movie. True. And Far From Home wasn't really as much about that, and Homecoming was a lot more like that, which I appreciated. So, Incredible Hulk. We kind of touched on it briefly for a second earlier. Where would you put this? You had to see the one MCU movie. Still, I think that's my biggest issue with it.
I mean, it's not an A.
No, God, no. Anyone that would rate it an A. One more.
Anyways, back to the video.
Back to the stream.
Um, I mean, it wasn't better than the first Hulk.
Mm.
It wasn't better because
The first Hulk also isn't on this list. That's one thing you gotta consider.
I'm just saying. I know the first Hulk isn't on this list, but they could have made him. They could have made Hulk in that movie better because in the first Hulk, when people shot him, he grew bigger. That's what he does. When someone hits him with something, bullets, anything, he grows.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit him, he grows stronger, gets angrier. And this one, no, they didn't do that to him. It kind of got me mad.
I think that's one of the bigger issues about how they've treated Hulk in the movies is they kind of gloss over the whole his anger is what kind of you can see how angry he is. And it's like I know apparently throughout the MCU he's gotten slightly bigger. I mean I couldn't fucking tell.
He got smaller.
But like if you do like a size comparison between like the beginning of the MCU to like now he's like slightly bigger, but it's like
bro, in Thor Ragnarok, Hulk was bigger than he was in the first Avengers.
Mm-hmm. And my biggest thing
he
is
was
like
huge in the first Avengers. He was decent. He was decent size for a Hulk.
and for me in Endgame, which we'll touch on when we get to that. What, Lax? Oh god, what are the downsides of streaming here? Anyway, Incredible Hulk, I forgot what we were talking about
I don't know. You think?
that. Yeah, we're just gonna slip this here and not really talk about it.
I don't know where to put that.
It's not C tier. It's definitely not above C tier, but it's not F tier.
Avengers Infinity War.
Ooh, should we, I feel like we should save that for Endgame as well, because you can't really talk about one without the other.
True.
Like, it's kind of important. Iron Man 2. Yay or nay? What do you think? Because I personally think it's better than, like, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Whiplash sucked.
I think the version of him on the racetrack is one of the better MCU scenes.
Yeah.
But giving him the little...
No, he is better than Killmonger.
Yeah. Giving Whiplash the little fucking, like, hammer suit. Why? Like, he would have been so much cooler without that. Because it's like, that's one of the reasons why, side note for Infinity War, seeing Thanos without the armor is more intimidating. Is because the less armor someone has on, the more terrified you are of them. Because if they have less armor and they're going up against a bunch of people, that's something to be fucking scared about, because they don't give a shit.
That is bullshit.
And they're just that confident in their abilities. So. Ooh, Iron Man 3. What do you think about this one? I know where I want this to go. Where would you go?
Do we even talk about that?
So we'll throw it in D tier. I don't think it's F tier.
Do we even talk about it?
This one, there's one correct, two possibly
S.
correct. Thank you. Yes. One of the best MCU movies and one of the best comic book movies in general.
He's the first ever superhero to form their Avengers.
My biggest thing I loved with Iron Man, I touched on this when I tried doing the video, but as a kid in the theater, I literally remember seeing Robert Downey Jr. step into Mark III and it being screwed on around him and thinking they actually built the suit.
Loved it.
And it's like, we were like, what, I was like 11 at the time, so it's not like I was just some dumb kid, like, I mean, I wasn't a genius or anything, but like, I was able to tell more of like what's fake and stuff like that. And even nowadays, the suit looks really fucking good. Like, I've seen videos of people breaking it down where there's like finger smudges, like fingerprints and stuff like that all over the suit. Like, it's not just clean. It looks real and it looks like you could physically touch it, and that is one of the reasons that and so many other factors are why that is an S tier movie, and why the MCU even exists in the first place. Like, if Iron Man would have, even if just the CGI in Iron Man would have been bad, the MCU might not have been launched. But everything in that movie was fucking amazing. Final Battle's a bit of an iffy situation, but other than that,
I liked
pretty fun.
Iron Man's silver suit. What was it
Yeah,
called?
the Mark II.
Mark II.
I liked that a lot.
So shiny.
I liked the fact that you see the Mark 1 and the 2 and the 3, like you actually progress with him through the first movie, because
Looked like a car.
it did look really fun.
Looked like a silver car.
And also with the Mark II, it becomes the War Machine suit, so you gotta give it props for that as well.
Sure.
Or the basis for the future War Machine suits. Last Stand.
Archangel. I loved it.
Where would you put it, D or C? I would probably put it D. It's
I
not
love-
quite
I
F.
loved Archangel. Like,
Mhm.
he was a good actor. And, like, him actually growing his wings.
Yeah, that shit
That
was
was
traumatizing as a kid.
that was good. I
Like,
loved it.
seeing little kids grow that shit out of their spine
I-
started me on the train of that's disgusting. Like,
I love creepy things. Like, but anyway, me as a person, I love horror movies. I love the blood.
Same.
I love the guts. I love the gore. It's all fantastic to me. I love it. Like, you could catch me in a fucking movie theater watching a horror movie.
I see you, Lex. Lex, go in the other room, you silly goose. Yeah. It's fine every once in a while. For the most
Our little sister's crazy.
part. Lex, stop being loud in here.
Please.
Ooh. We're not even going to talk about where it needs to go, because it's up.
First of all, Iron
Hold
Man's
on.
in front of. There you go.
This seems more correct so far.
There you go.
Yeah, Logan,
Rest in peace, Logan.
if you haven't seen the movie, then you won't understand why it's S tier, but if you have, then you already know, especially if you grew up on superhero movies like me and my brother did, especially on the X-Men movies. I mean, I could see how if you didn't grow up on it, it could be like A, B tier, but especially for 99% of people that saw it, easy S tier. Fucking guaranteed. At the bare minimum, top of the A tier. Like any other ranking, I will not accept. Just because it is, oh god, and then we're at the exact opposite of the spectrum. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Not even.
Okay, we'll put it at the end of the
He
D
got
tier.
his
How about that?
adamantium claws in that movie.
I'll say one word, and you'll understand why I want it to be F tier.
Deadpool.
Yep. They ruined it. And I know that's like the biggest common complaint. Also,
Well, that's how he's
side note,
supposed to look. In
his claws look fucking fake as shit. Like, normally they would give him, like, the things to hold in his hand or whatever. Or they would, like, CGI it or something like that. But especially if you're holding him in a still scene, they would just give him shit to hold. That shit looks so fake. It literally distracts you from what's going on. Especially when he's in the bathroom, that shit's so obvious. He's like, huh, let me touch my air together. Like, it's not good. In my opinion, obviously, I know every movie has its fans, but like, can you really rank X-Men?
To be honest, that's how
Origins?
Deadpool's supposed to be looking like that.
And I also,
That's how we first look in his comic.
I did appreciate that they gave him the teleportation, because I really hope in the MCU they give him the teleportation belt, because that would be sick. And I give them credit for the teleportation effects, how he teleported from like the inside out. That was really cool. And single-handed Wolverine claws are not the same as katanas. I don't mind the whole shirtless thing, that's not the issue. The main issue is the laser vision, the stupid fucking claws they gave him, and the fact that they sewed his mouth shut. If they would have let him quip, that would have been fine. because that would have actually been really fucking funny. They would have. I understand why they didn't give him like that stuff, but also you gotta think Wolverine's mutation isn't just the claws; it's his healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Deadpool mainly got. If they would have just given him one power from everyone, and the one power he got from Wolverine was the healing factor, I wouldn't have complained. Because then he would have had to use swords or guns or some shit instead of whatever the fuck they gave him.
Well,
Like,
in
it
the
hurts.
end of the movie, Deadpool actually did get his mouth opened.
Yeah, which I don't know how because, I mean, I guess a rock hit him on the way down or some shit, yeah.
Or Wolverine just cut his mouth open.
At some point, somehow, yeah, I don't know. But, we're gonna move on quickly because it's... Any criticisms you've heard of the movie, we pretty much have them as well. Thor Ragnarok.
Hey,
I'm not even worried about it. Like, it's
not even a Thor movie. It's literally the Hulk movie.
I understand that some people didn't like the change of tone from Dark World to Ragnarok, but also some people like to eat paper. So I mean, some people are just naturally wrong. But it's like, out of the Thor movies, which one would you just go back and watch for fun?
Thor Ragnarok.
Like, I can see maybe the first Thor. Like, it has its moments. Dark World, really?
Do you have a
Like-
horse? We have dogs.
Like, the first one is better than, like, for me it would go Ragnarok, Thor 1, and then Dark World. Easily. Like, Dark World's, I know everyone hates on it, but yeah.
Dark World's
Ooh. Spider-Man 2. Hold on. Let me give it the respect it deserves.
trash. There you go.
I know a lot of people would say better than Logan, but a lot of people are also wrong. I'd say it's tied.
The
It's-
first Spider-Man was better than Logan.
What?
Yep.
Ooh, that's going to be a spicy one when we get to that.
I'm saying it. I'm just gonna say it. The first Spider-Man was way better than Logan. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, let's see. Spider-Man 2, we're not going to really talk much about just because it's obvious why it's such a good movie. And if you haven't seen it, watch it and you'll understand. You can literally watch Spider-Man 2 without seeing any other superhero movie and you'll know why it's so good. Like, it's fucking amazing.
Dr. Octopus, the leader of Sinister Six.
Like, and the fact that they actually made Dr. Octopus, they showed how smart he was.
Well, the co-leader of Sinister Six, because Ultimate Goblin and
He's usually Doc Ock is usually the smartest person in the room. Like,
well, he's the fucking nerd of the group. Everyone else is just
it's
all
weird.
their-
It's like he's for me personally, out of the Sinister Six, he's probably the most terrifying because he's the smartest. And you just know it's like whatever he always is like 10 steps ahead of you, for the most part. But yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
yeah. Okay, Zoom from Flash. I'm always 10 steps ahead of you.
Ooh, Spider-Man 3. Where should this go? I know where I want to put it.
Venom sucked.
That is the main reason it's D tier.
I mean, I like the symbol on the suit.
If they would
I
have
loved it.
just given him the black suit, it would have been fine. If they would have not made them actually do Venom, because that was the one villain Sam Raimi didn't want to do. He wanted to do Sandman. And I think they forced New Goblin on him as well, or maybe he actually planned for it, I don't remember. But if it literally would have been just Sandman and New Goblin,
I like the New Goblin.
I feel like if he would have had more time to focus on him instead of having to shoehorn in Venom, he would have been made better and not look the way he did. I liked his suit. I hated his fucking hoverboard. His hoverboard was the worst thing I've ever seen. His suit, kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie, especially the
Hoverboard
mask.
Looked like a freaking surfboard.
Like, I appreciated that they. It's weird because they went from like a motorcycle suit to a ski suit.
It makes me want to
Like-
actually go inside the movie and be like, "Hey, yo, New Goblin, you want to go surfing? Or no,
Bro.
do you want to go fucking?
You want to go snowboarding, bro?
I want to go snowboarding, bro?
Yeah, it's just it's
With his
fucking
Burn ass pizza face looking ass.
Spider-Man 1, you want to put it before Logan. I want to know why. I can kind of see why, but I want to know your reasoning as to why.
It's the first Spider-Man movie.
That's not the reason. What 3 things about the movie elevate it above Logan?
Green Goblin was fantastic.
I will never argue against Willem Dafoe.
Creepy as hell, but I loved him.
Creepy but cheesy. Very, very good balance. Very hard balance, but he pulled it off.
Very. Like when he was just talking to himself in the mirror, I was like, I wanted to go inside the movie again and be like, bro, you
What
good?
are you doing? I just want to know what you guys are doing.
We're doing stuff talking about movies. Talk about superhero movies a little bit. We'll play with you in a bit, okay?
We'll get famous, probably not. But anyway.
Oh, God. Lulu, go in the other room, okay? Relax.
I just want to put my brother's quiet. Papa, can you just give me one sheet?
Fine.
Give me one sheet.
Anyway, so I'll put it alongside. I don't think it's better than Spider-Man 2, but I'll put it between the two. Just to fucking appease you.
Are you sick?
Ooh, we're close to the end. Dark World. My biggest thing that kills Dark World is it's not fun to watch. Like, I don't know, it's just not enjoyable to watch.
And plus, how many times can Loki fake his death?
Yeah, it's...
And Thor actually believed it.
Yeah.
Thor's dumb as hell.
Like, Thor 2 it's not completely awful, like it has its decent parts.
He's dumb.
But my god, it's executed horribly. Thor 1, I want to throw this C tier, personally. Because, again, it's very middle of the road. It's not B tier. It is not as good as First Class. Not as good as Doctor Strange or the Deadpool movies. But then again, it's not as bad as Age of Ultron, in my opinion. Not as bad as Spider-Man 3 or Hulk or whatever. So, I'd say it's end of C tier, possibly beginning of D tier. I could kind of understand.
I liked it.
Venom. We are going to get a lot of hate for this one. I'm going to throw a B tier. Not A tier, but definitely B tier.
You good, bro?
Yeah. Where would you put it? C tier?
No.
D?
No, not even.
You want to put it A tier.
Well, I mean,
Let me...
I loved Venom. I loved that movie.
I enjoyed it too, but my thing is,
I loved it
you're
more.
saying that Venom is on the tier of both Guardians
Well,
movies.
to be honest, it's better than Homecoming.
I will give you that, and I'll throw it above Far From Home as well.
No.
Personally, I enjoyed it a lot
Far
better.
From
I
Home
also
was way better than Venom.
I also
I'm
like
just
Tom
saying.
Hardy a lot, so that's just me. The Wolverine.
Oh, do you mean Bane?
Where would you rank the Wolverine? Because I know where I would rank it, because I actually have a place for this movie.
Hey.
Huh. I am going to put it below First Class. Because
Hold on, what?
personally, I'm putting it in towards the top of B tier.
He got his bone claws back.
That's not... My biggest issue with the movie is how much they set up and never paid off. Like... Oh god, I forgot you're subscribed on the thing. No, turn down the audio. I don't want to hear us. Yeah. Where would you put the first X-Men?
What happened?
Where would you rank the first X-Men? Or why do you think that the Wolverine should be A tier, is what I should ask. Aside from just the bone claws, it has to be deeper than that. Although I guess everyone finds different things important about a movie.
It's
but
because Hugh Jackman, dude. Hugh
That's the
Jackman's
thing.
one of, he is the, well, actually no one could replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, because, you know, no one is as best as Wolverine.
And it's weird because the 3 X-Men movies that have Hugh Jackman in it that are at the bottom of the list are all ones that got fucked up by the studio saying, hey, we're going to make the movie instead. Apocalypse. Last Stand. Origins Wolverine. Fucking atrocious. Probably one of the worst X-Men movies.
He wasn't First Class.
I remember that when they went around recruiting people.
Fuck off.
That cameo was better than all of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
To be honest,
Which is very weird to say.
I didn't know he was going to be in it.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this next one. S tier.
You're right.
End of S tier, beginning of A tier.
You're right.
It's so good.
You're right.
Again, it's cheesy. And I personally like that, especially compared to modern Marvel movies. It's different. I like different.
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth looked so dumb, but I
He
love
looks so
every
dumb,
single
but that's
part
how
of
he's
it.
actually supposed to look.
Also, side note as to one of the reasons Last Stand is D tier is what they did to my boy Juggernaut. Y'all really disrespected my man's like that. Rude. Now, the last movie
What is he,
before we
rubber?
get into the big three, as I call them, X-Men 2, we're going to go A tier. You agree with that?
Facts.
The first two, very, very good.
X-Men 2 was creepy.
Really fucking Nightcrawler creeped me out
Nightcrawler
as a
was
kid,
creepy.
dude. Also, Toad, disgusting.
Hello, back here.
Oh god, anyway. No one's even watching, but we're doing it. It goes up as a video after. So.
Who's watching?
What were we on? We talked about, we kind of touched on X2, but again, it's
Creepy.
not much to talk about. It's just really good. Like,
Creepy.
one of the more underrated X-Men movies. I think it gets overshadowed by Days of Future Past and First Class a lot. But as far as the original trilogy goes, it's mostly pretty solid. Obviously, the third one,
Hugh Jackman looks so young in it.
it's so weird to me how
So
good X2 was and how bad X3 was. Like, how do you go from two of the better superhero movies to that? Like, I don't know. But first, we'll go from Spider-Verse to Infinity War to Endgame. So Spider-Verse, easily an S tier, the only animated
S.
movie on this. I'm going to put it above Winter Soldier, even though I love Winter Soldier to death. I'm putting it above it because it's a comic book. It's literally the amount of love and actual... You can tell that everyone involved in the movie loved being part of it.
I cried.
And that they cared, yeah. The beginning when Peter Parker died, that shit hurt. And the ending, when Miles sweeps him and like tosses him down, or when he lets go, that also was surprisingly emotional. Also, the dad speech that Miles' dad gives him, that shit hits hard too. It's like,
The uncle.
damn.
That killed me.
There's so many the entire movie, there's not a single scene that doesn't make you feel some kind of emotion. Whether it's happy, hype, excited, sad, scared, frustrated, like, but in a good way. Like, oh no, what the fuck? Like, it's. I just. I want to do an entire review. I think that's the first review I ever want to do on a movie is Spider-Verse because there's so much to talk about.
So much.
Like,
It was funny. It was funny. I like it.
It was funny. It was fucking heartwarming, heartbreaking. It just made you smile. It made you literally be. It literally made Miles's first swing when he actually gets in the suit. People in the audience were literally cheering.
I loved his Nikes.
Yeah, I love
Air
the
Forces.
fact
I love your Air Force.
seeing a Spider-Man in like shoes and a hoodie. Ah, okay. Good color on your nurse's card and stuff like that. Infinity War. Huh?
Actually color on it?
At most, actually.
Slow.
Is that actually color on it?
So slow.
No, don't actually color on it, you guys. Just pretend. I liked Infinity War first viewing through. Every viewing since then. I tried watching it. I watched it once on Netflix for the fun of it. I haven't watched it since.
Nope.
It's not good on repeat viewings. And
That's the only Marvel movie on Netflix that I don't watch.
my biggest complaint about it is it's slow, but it also takes it's slow, but it goes by so quick. Like there's no time for moments to actually breathe, but everything feels like it takes forever. Like it feels like, oh yeah, it's such a long movie, but then you're like, what actually really happened that mattered? He got the stones. That's it. Like, and then obviously he snapped, but like, a lot of the movie just kind of happens. Like none of it really seems to matter all that much now. And it's like,
I mean,
I don't know. I cannot see ranking it above the first one or Days of Future Past. I wouldn't rank it above the Guardians movies, but I see why people would. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why it's so loved, personally. Like, obviously it's A tier, so it's decent, but what they did with Hulk also leads into Endgame that I'm not the biggest fan of.
gets me fucking pissed.
But, like, I didn't mind the whole Hulk getting beaten by Thanos thing. That was fine.
He got his ass beaten in 5 seconds. What do you mean?
Like, I was cool with that when the fact that he only had one stone and he still got fucked up like that, I was okay with that.
Rest in peace to Loki, even though he's not dead.
It's so confusing.
Okay, you know what?
But,
He is family with the Frost Giants.
yeah.
When Odin got him from what is it? Fucking
Jotunheim or some shit.
Jotunheim or some shit like that.
Mhm.
He was blue. He was a blue baby.
A blue baby.
He was a blue baby.
Blue face.
And
That's awful.
everyone knows when a person from Jotunheim, when they die, they turn blue.
It's hard enough to
Infinity
kill.
War, when Thanos killed Loki, he did not turn blue.
He's turned slightly blue around the edges of his face, but it was. I don't know. I don't know.
He wasn't blue. He was not blue at all.
It was definitely not at all what I thought would happen. Like that.
Everyone thought that why
equals
Hulk
MC.
wasn't turning into Hulk. Well, Bruce Banner wasn't turning into Hulk in Infinity War because everyone thought that Loki was Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I'm like, then who would be Loki? But anyway, going to Endgame. S.
I'm gonna put it.
Way before Spider-Man 2.
What?
Way before Spider-Man 2. Oh, okay, you know what? Fine.
I want
Just
to
to
put
get you
it.
pissed, way before Logan.
I'm putting it there.
Okay, I can see that. Never mind.
My biggest reason why it's not above the 2 Spider-Man movies is because they stand better on their own. Endgame, obviously, if Endgame's your first Marvel movie, you still like it, but the end lineup won't be as big of a deal
And
for
if
you.
Endgame's your first ever Marvel movie, who the hell are you? Like, what are you doing?
And
with
it's
your life?
like,
You
my
have no
biggest
life.
thing is, even if the first two Marvel movies you've ever seen are Infinity War and Endgame,
Hey, Dark Knight.
oh god. But it's like, it's a great movie. Obviously, it has its flaws. But my biggest issue, okay, that's really loud. You're good.
I'll do you
one
better.
Why is Gamora? Infinity War close.
Drax, who are you, bruh?
The fact that Drax was one of the best parts about Infinity War kind of shows why it's not S tier. Because if one character is one of the best parts about your film, that's not really saying much about the rest of the movie. Like, it's kind of concerning, but like,
It gives me visibility.
your name is Zargna. Damn it.
Hey, Drax.
But now comes the fun part of ranking within each tier.
Hello.
So we'll go the S tier. We've kind of been doing it as we go along. So S tier,
10-star.
we can kind of agree Logan's towards the top.
10-star.
What? No, I'm saying we're ranking within like the best S tier to worst S tier, air quotes, etc. So best S tier, you agree?
Yes.
What do you think the second best one of these S tier movies is? You said Spider-Man 1. I kind of, part of me agrees. I'd say the first one and second one are tied for second.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's a quick little snack.
Sorry, we had to do something real quick. All right, now S tier movies are pretty much ranked for the most part.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Yeah, all pretty good. A tier.
Yes.
Worst in
What the
Infinity War
fuck
be.
is wrong with you?
Shh. Don't talk about it. Where
What?
should Infinity War be?
No. What the fuck is wrong with you?
They're tied.
No. That's in front of fucking X-Men.
Fine, deal with it.
You're mental.
Okay, Infinity War. Good. For you, I guess. I would put it personally here.
True.
Although I'd also personally put it there, but that's just me.
Yeah. Just leave it there.
Ragnarok, yeah. X2, yeah.
I feel like Ragnarok's better than
B
Infinity
tier.
War.
This one might take a minute. It's also the biggest category.
No, actually, I feel like Ragnarok's better than Infinity War.
Alright,
I just-
what should be the first place B movie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do you a favor. There you go.
Alright, we're good. Alright, what should be the first B tier movie? Because we kind of just threw these in.
First B tier. I believe. Well,
Like, what's the
Captain
best?
America would be the B tier.
What do you think is the best movie out of the B tier movies?
Wolverine.
What?
Yep. I liked them all, but I mean, that was good. I liked it. But Wolverine's second. No. Well, Wolverine's first for me.
I think the rest of this is pretty good as it is, for the most part. Actually, there we go. I like the first Deadpool better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, I would rather watch Deadpool than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, if I was just throwing on a movie. Although I'd rather watch Ant-Man and the Wasp than Deadpool too. Like,
Damn it! Now I feel like watching Ant-Man.
yeah. Well, we have it. C tier.
After this, let's watch it.
Well, first of all, let's do us all a favor. Black Panther's there. No one can really deny that. And yes, I'm saying Daredevil and Electro are better than Black Panther. Fucking soon. Um. Actually, don't hate me, people. I like the first Ghost Rider better than Electra. I don't care. Sorry. I also like that better than Electra. Electra's kind of like, yeah. Otherwise, pretty much fine. C tier is again kind of average. There we go. Ooh, D tier. What's the best D tier movie? I'd probably say Age of Ultron. I haven't. What?
Fantastic Four.
We'll put that second, just because I haven't seen it, so I don't want to fully put it there.
You
'Cause
have
I
to
can't
see
vouch
it.
for it.
If it's on Disney Plus, you're seeing it.
It's not, because it's a Fox thing before the deal
That's
happened.
bullshit.
D tier, otherwise okay? Ooh, actually, hold on. Wait, what? These
Don't
two.
do that.
Or wait, no.
Right in front of that. There you go.
There we go. Now it's accurate. I do like Iron Man 3 more than Apocalypse, but Apocalypse is definitely better than Last Stand. Spider-Man 3,
F.
I wouldn't personally say so, because I kind of like the cheesiness. Worst F movie, I would rather watch Dark World.
Have
over
you
Captain
seen
Marvel.
the part where Spider-Man's dancing?
Yeah.
And have you seen the YouTube video that he's dancing without music?
Yeah, it's great.
It's fucking weird. I wouldn't do that.
I would.
Like
Fuck,
me,
dude.
when I'm doing my hip hop, I need to do it with music. I can't do it without.
This is what happens when you stream with a average YouTuber and a dancing boy.
I do hip hop.
So this is our Marvel rankings. If you disagree, why are you hitting? No, I'm kidding. Let us know either in the comments when this goes as a video. Also, there's a poll in the card in the corner. What's your favorite Marvel trilogy? It's between, I know Avengers is a quadrilogy, but I count Infinity War's Endgame as part of the same movie, kind of like the same story. So it would be,
And what's your what's your favorite phase?
yeah. Leave your top 5 movies in the description. You could do top 5 MCU, top 5 in general, whatever. Just let us know your favorites, how you would rank some of the movies, like top 5, top 10.
Add me on Snapchat.
But next up, we're going to be doing the DC movies, which is going to be a bit easier because some of these Superman movies I have not seen, so I will not be commenting on them. And we didn't really, at least I didn't, watch as many of the DC movies growing up.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Man of Steel.
What?
I haven't seen it.
Huh. Well,
Ever.
first, we're going to kind of go quickly through the DC movies. Aquaman.
B.
What?
Well, I mean, I put it at an A because
I would.
freaking Jason Momoa as freaking Aquaman. He's freaking.
The fact
I
that
love
he
that movie.
made the lame ass goofy suit look good and dope and badass, I give everyone in the movie respect. And also, you can't go wrong with having a Daft Punk esque soundtrack. Like that shit's
Batman
good.
and Robin.
Oh, clearly S tier. No, I'd put it C tier. The ice puns definitely bring the movie down, but it's funny to watch sometimes. Like they've intentionally made it very goofy and old school, which I'm okay with for the most part.
Arnold, I have
Yeah.
a question for you. Are you gonna be a Terminator or are you gonna be freaking Mr. Freeze? Please answer. Thank you.
Yeah, that's yikes. Batman Forever. I would
I-
probably put it at C
I
tier,
don't-
possibly low B tier.
I don't remember it.
I love Jim Carrey, but I'm sorry, it's.
I
gonna
hated
have
the
to be
bat
C tier.
nipples.
Ooh, Batman Returns, I think is what that is called.
No, Batman Returns is wrong.
No, that's The Dark Knight Rises.
No, that's the Dark Knight Rises.
That's The Dark Knight.
That's Batman Returns.
It's Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Not even.
Yes.
No, because he's fighting Ra's al Ghul.
In The Dark Knight.
In the Dark Knight, he's fighting Joker.
Or no, Batman Begins, he's fighting Ra's al Ghul. And then Dark Knight's Joker and Dark Knight Rises is Bane.
Yeah.
Which seeing Batman fight during the day is definitely weird.
It's fucking weird.
Oh my god, the 60s Batman movie.
Haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I'm gonna put it A tier. It's just goofy, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think they have it on Netflix, or they used to at least.
There you go.
Batman Begins.
Okay, Ra's al Ghul.
I want to put it A tier, guaranteed.
I put it there.
Batman '89.
Hated the bat nipples.
That wasn't in Batman '89. That
Oh,
was
wait,
in
no.
Batman
Yeah,
and
no.
Robin.
Those
Ooh. Batman movies are pretty good for the most part.
I'm gonna go get another cookie, but all I gotta say is, fuck you, Doomsday. You were the worst villain of all time. You were the worst villain of DC.
Steppenwolf,
Nah.
Enchantress.
I mean, Doomsday was better than
But while he's doing that, I'm going to talk about quickly why Begins and Batman '89 are as good as they are. I don't really have much to say. It's just really fucking good. They're just both perfectly made movies. Like, when Chris Nolan was making the Dark Knight trilogy, as everyone calls it, he made them as standalone movies. So if it would have been one movie, he did that. If Dark Knight would have been the last of it, he made it like that. So it's like,
Hi, Josie.
it's very good. Batman vs Superman is getting C tier for me
Yep.
because it was more fun for me to watch than, some other movies we'll get into here
Do
soon.
you bleed?
No. God. Catwoman, straight F. I was about to say that anyway. Yeah, I've seen it. Not good.
Haven't seen it.
Constantine, I have not seen, but I want to see because I love Constantine and I love Keanu Reeves. I want to see it. I've heard it's like D tier material, but I don't care.
S.
Dark Knight S tier. It's very obvious. Joker, Batman.
Rest in peace, Heath
It's,
Ledger.
it's perfect. They don't overdo anything. The intro is probably one of the best comic book movie intros that I've seen. Really fucking good.
What I keep telling everyone, they always ask me if you can go back in time. Well, if you can bring a person that has passed, who would it be and why? I said Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I
I would
wanna-
definitely.
And the reason
Yeah.
why I want to meet him is because I want to ask him how he felt during, like, being Joker.
I think one of the lines from Dark Knight that really just hit me, especially on repeat viewings, was the whole line at the end where Joker's like, "I think we're meant to do this forever." and I'm
you know
like,
what got me?
I would watch Heath Ledger and Christian Bale go after each other forever.
You know what
I
got me?
would honestly do that. Like,
When Harvey Dent said,
so good.
"Live long, die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain."
There's so many good quotes and scenes from that movie.
I
Like,
use that quote so many times because I just love that quote. Like, it's true.
Mhm.
Would you rather live long enough, like, die a hero, and, like, die doing what you loved, or
or saving people or making a difference. Yeah.
die, well, live long enough and just being like a bank robber.
And
Or
it's
just
like my
stealing
biggest
shit.
my biggest takeaway with that is like I know it's like, oh, it sounds like it's trying to be deep, but it is like I mean, we literally see it in Batman versus Superman. It's like he was a hero, and now some people could argue that Batman in that movie is a villain. It's literally truth in it, and that's not a win for Batman versus Superman. It's just it goes to show that if you're going at the same thing long enough, you eventually just get to the point where it's like, what's the fucking point? And you're just like, I'll do whatever the fuck I have to do to stop this shit. So it's like, although that also makes me wonder why he wouldn't kill Joker when he kills, I don't know. It's very confusing to
He
me,
doesn't
but
kill.
he does in that movie. Dark
Hold
Knight
on.
Rises. He literally machine guns people. He shoots a dude with an M60 in his flamethrower and kills him. He
Oh.
explodes a dude.
No.
KG Beast, the dude from Winter Soldier that I told you about in the elevator fight scene.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking? Which one are you talking about?
The not
Are you talking about Batman vs Superman?
yeah.
I'm talking about Dark
No,
Knight.
Dark Knight. No.
And
Yeah,
when,
no.
when you said he didn't kill Joker.
Yeah, no.
I'm like,
I meant in Batman
'cause
vs
he
Superman.
doesn't-
I was curious why he doesn't kill him.
Because Joker was trying to get him to kill people. He was trying to get him
Yeah.
to stoop down to Joker's level, but no. Batman's stronger than that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Dark Knight Rises is a B tier for me. I don't like it as much as Begins. It's definitely the weakest of the trilogy. But it's not a bad movie. Like, I would watch any of the trilogy just for fun. Like, it's a good movie to just watch. But it's definitely not as good as, like, 89 or Begins. Definitely not as good as the first, or the second movie in this trilogy. Green Lantern
F.
had
F.
so much potential.
No, it's right in front of freaking yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I know it's common to hate on it, and apparently Taika Waititi was in it, which I never noticed until recently. He was like his best friend or whatever, which could have fucking fooled me. I never would have known. But yeah, it's just
Well,
the CGI is terrible. The just story is just eh.
Ryan
Parallax is literally just a giant space bar.
Ryan Reynolds was in a podcast, and they're like, "What was your worst movie that you ever did?" They're like, he's like, "Well," he's like, "Well, I haven't even seen Green Lantern."
Ooh.
And I believe that even the producers haven't even seen it. I'm like, ooh, oof. That's a big turn on Green Lantern. I mean,
Yeah.
what's his power? Oh, will you give hope? What are you,
His-
Superman?
Green Lantern's a hard hero to make a movie for, but it's like
Who are
he
you?
could have done it. It's not impossible. If they made a movie
I
for
like the
fucking
suit.
Steel,
I liked how it glowed. I liked his suit, how it glowed.
yeah, Jonah Hex. I want to put it as a C tier movie.
What is that?
A lot of people haven't seen it.
I haven't
A
seen
lot of people don't even know that it was a movie, but it was, I think, Josh Brolin, aka Cable, or Thanos, as Jonah Hex. I think it is
it.
first
AKA
comic book.
Thanos, AKA Cable, AKA...
Jonah Hex. He's been in a lot of movies, but it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. It was weird seeing Jonah Hex, and I think Megan Fox was in it. It's very weird,
I like Megan Fox.
but it was. I enjoyed watching it as a kid. Arguably, I probably shouldn't have seen it at the age I saw it at, but it's fine. It was okay. I mean, I liked it. There's really not much to say about it. It's kind of
And
there's
first of all-
reasons people don't know it exists.
First of all, they can make a Green Lantern movie, but they can't make a Flash movie.
Yeah,
What the
that's.
hell's wrong with you?
Oh, Justice League. Oh, Justice League.
Hey.
You.
It was.
What have
good.
you done?
It was good.
We'll put it
I put it at
better than.
D. Put it at D.
Or
It's-
no.
It's better than Green
Hold on.
Lantern. Put it at D.
We're.
I put it at D because you actually get to see Cyborg.
I didn't really like a
And,
cyborg.
and also, Flash was fun as hell.
I don't know, man. The only part of it I really liked was Wonder Woman. Batman was okay.
You want to go to brunch?
Shut up. Man of Steel. A lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this. It's gonna be B tier. I know you haven't seen it. I personally enjoyed it, especially after the Marvel movies. It's different, and again, like I said, I like.
I don't like
different.
Superman.
Haven't seen Red 2. Saw the first Red. Didn't know it was a DC thing.
Red 2 was good.
It was good. Where would you rank it?
C.
C.
It was so good.
I liked Red. It was okay. I'd probably
haven't
put
seen
it D.
I-
I'd put it above Justice League, definitely.
I've seen little bits of part of the first one,
Hmm.
but I've seen the second one.
I would
It was
definitely
good.
not put Red on the level of like these movies, or anywhere close to like Dark Knight Rises. But is that which Superman is that?
Swamp Thing.
Oh, that's Swamp Thing. I haven't seen.
I didn't even know that was a show.
Shazam. That's an A tier, easily.
Fact.
Like, definitely not S tier. A few tiny things keep it from
I'd
it.
put it with Aquaman.
Yeah. There's definitely a few things that keep it from being S tier. Like, there was a few minor things. If they fixed it, it could have been S tier. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of the
Superman
better.
was in the movie, so why not our Superman that
I
we know
don't.
and love?
Okay, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I haven't seen the original Superman movies.
Haven't.
So I'm just
Oh,
gonna
did you
throw
hear?
those here. Same with Superman. I'm gonna get rid of
Most
all
of the
the haven't seens. Superman 3, haven't seen it. I think that's another Superman movie. I haven't seen it. Superman 2, have not seen it. There's a lot of DC movies I haven't seen. Superman Returns, I think I saw
Seen
once
it.
as a kid. Well,
Seen it.
how would you rate it? From what I've heard, it's
It
like
was
D,
decent.
C.
It was a decent.
So like D or C. Because C is usually middle of the road.
D as in decent.
D is decent, alright. Better than Justice League? Or no?
No.
Suicide Squad,
F.
I haven't
What
seen.
is wrong with you?
Have you seen
Okay,
Steel?
first of all,
Hold on, this is definitely the worst.
first
F
of all,
movie. Guaranteed.
why would you make Joker like that? You were literally disrespecting Joker.
Not only that,
Oh, you know how I got these tattoos? No, it's
the
no,
fact
how
that
I
you
got
had
these scars. No,
the fact that you had to
Please.
tattoo the fact of that he's mentally ill on his forehead shows that you don't know how to characterize the Joker the right way. If you have to have tattoos on him that say broken or damaged,
no, and
then you're not writing him the right way.
then that tattoo on his hand, that's supposed to be his mouth. That's how his
Yeah,
mouth
that's-
is supposed to be looking.
Yeah, it's very stupid.
But
It's-
no, they just put fucking red lipstick on him.
What is that? The Swamp Thing sequel? Haven't seen it.
Huh.
Watchmen. Ooh.
B.
Yeah. Better than Man of Steel, in my opinion. A lot of people don't like it.
I haven't seen Man of
I
Steel,
liked
but
it.
I like watching.
Wonder Woman. I haven't seen it. I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me for that, but you gotta remember this came out after Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. So I was like, I ain't gonna spend the money on the theater on this.
Remember the Watchmen game?
That shit was dope. We only ever played the demo, and then we got yelled at when I downloaded it.
Well, yeah.
We were also really young when that came out.
It was inappropriate.
I mean, to be fair, it was. Where would you rank it? A or B for Wonder
I
Woman?
haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it.
I will go with the.
You haven't seen it either. Don't even.
I know. I will go with the consensus from what everyone else has said and put it A tier. I'm not going to put it top of the A tier because I haven't
honest.
seen it. We'll put it there.
To be honest,
Be happy.
I'm not really interested.
I'm kind of interested.
I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan. Like
My biggest
stepmom's-
thing is-
my stepmom, like she'll literally talk about Wonder Woman
Mhm.
like 24/7. She does not care. That's her favorite female superhero of all time. That's her favorite superhero of all time.
Yeah. Okay, we need to find at least 4 more S tier movies. Because I was kind of being conservative about it just because it's like I didn't want to take up as many as we did for Marvel. But for me, I would probably put Batman 89 S tier. Just because it's really fucking good.
I remember I haven't seen it in a long ass time.
What two or 3 movies would you say are S tier? Or what movies would you say are S tier in general? We don't have to limit it. Just what are the first few that come to mind?
I feel like Aquaman and Shazam and Wonder Woman.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
I loved Shazam. I loved it because, dude, he's a kid. He gets Shazam's powers by just saying Shazam, and that's how it's supposed to be. And then Aquaman, that's literally the true story
Yeah.
of how Aquaman is Aquaman.
Yeah.
And like it's like decent on the comics storyline. But anyway,
gonna skip whatever song's on. We are pretty much. Oh no, we have to rank all of these. So S tier, is that pretty good for the order? I would personally agree Aquaman's better than Shazam. I enjoyed watching
Way better.
Aquaman more than Shazam, which isn't a slight against Shazam because it was really good. But
Like
Aquaman
tonight?
was just fun.
Like tonight, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm big down watching it.
Um, these are pretty good. They're there. It's kind of funny that those are all A tier.
They're decent.
B I would pretty much keep as is. C tier, again, it's a lot of the DC movies aren't even bad. They're just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
D tier, it's fine. F
Mm.
tier, definitely true. And haven't seen isn't really a tier. You just kind of haven't seen them. But I'd probably see Constantine and then the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Hasn't
Especially
seen
for Double
Constantine.
Crisis. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what else to say aside from if you guys somehow watched this whole thing as a video, thanks, I guess. I'll probably do an update when we do make the channel, if we do. But me and my brother are thinking of making a channel where we review comic book movies, comic book shows, comic book news, all that. Maybe eventually we'll do like a comic book review thing of like the best stories we've read. So I know you're more into physical comics
Mm-hmm.
than I am, mainly because your dad also is. So you kind of grew
Dude,
up with
I
that.
grew up on reading comics.
Yeah.
Literally, those were the only books I ever read.
Yeah.
Like to be honest,
Yeah.
like my first book ever.
Mhm.
Guess what it was?
Hmm.
Spider-Man.
Sounds weird.
That was Spider-Man. Oh wait, no. No, it was Hulk versus Cable. That was my
Nice.
first comic.
But yeah, if you guys want to end up checking out that channel, I'll make it again. Like I said, I'll make a video and link to it when we make the channel. Yeah, if you guys want to stay up to date with that and support that channel, go ahead. I'll link it once we eventually make it.
And also, if you want to support me, just follow me, add me on Snapchat,
I will add his
Nice.
Snapchat and whatever
my
else.
YouTube channel, and my Instagram,
Yeah, I'll add your YouTube and Snapchat and Instagram in the description.
and my Twitter, even though I don't have Twitter.
Well, yeah,
I'll go
I'll
get
add
one.
his socials in it after it goes up as a video and stuff like that. But
Oh god, I'm tired.
yeah, so if you guys want to support the channel, that's how, and we will hopefully see you guys on the other channel or in the next stream video thing.
We love you all.
Peace out.